Hello, everybody. It is Taylor along with Bryan and Jake today. Barb cannot make it because it is cold outside and everybody is in her apartment. I guess it's what happens when you live with your sister. Anyway, so last night was the Group B premiere of The Masked Singer. We are going to talk about that. Before we get into last night, we're going to get into last week a little bit. Talk about that crazy unmasking. So Snail turned out to be the first ever fictional character unmasked on The Masked Singer.
I was quite shocked.
That was good though.
I was quite shocked that it was a puppet and not the puppeteer that plays Kermit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the puppeteer was in.
Well, the puppeteer had to be in there, and that was a tight squeeze. Yeah. I want to know how he did that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So anyway, our first impression guesses last week for Kermit were pretty interesting, or for Snail.
Let's hear it.
Well, first off, Barb said Bill Murray, which it sounds nothing like Bill Murray.
Oh my God.
She really wants Bill Murray on The Masked Singer, I think. And she's probably going to watch this later and she's going to kill us both. But I thought it was Kenan Thompson because some of the references about working with a lot of people in the industry and sort of the late night clues sort of pointed to him. And also
Kenan is not bad because he does do good impressions.
Yes, that's why I kind of thought it was
that's
him.
A good guess. That's
and
a good
him
guess.
Singing. There was an SNL digital short that aired about 10 years ago that was Andy Samberg with Kenan Thompson dressed up like Reba McEntire, and Snail kind of sounded like him when they did that digital short back 10 years ago. That's why I thought it was Kenan Thompson. Now, Jake's guess, let me...
Yes, Jake.
I should be embarrassed, but
I will
be.
Okay.
Snail said Jimmy Fallon, or Snail. Jake said Jimmy Fallon.
What?
No, I was going off the. Okay,
a bad guess. I was thinking after I thought about the clues more that it could have been Adam Carolla because they had the eagle in the clue package.
Oh yeah.
And Eagle was Dr. Drew back in season 2, and they hosted Loveline together. So
right.
Now Bryan said Kermit. Now
because I said Kermit because when I heard him singing when they started the performance, you could hear his voice.
Yeah.
In the performance.
And a lot of people, I was looking a lot on social media, and there were tons of people that were like, this sounds like Kermit the Frog.
But
kind of like whoever this is sounds like Kermit.
But
now honestly, that was just a guess because I thought it was not going to actually be Kermit.
No.
But no, I was going down the whole talk show host thing. That's kind of why I went the Jimmy Kimmel route. Because I was I saw the chair and I was like, this has to be a talk show host.
Show, so.
But that was so clever,
yeah.
I think that now that they have had a Muppet on the show, that they probably will have more Muppets on the show.
Or more fictional characters that they could do,
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy. that'd be funny.
That was, oh my God, that was hilarious when they said about Miss Piggy with Kermit.
Yeah. No, I'm wondering if Frank Oz still does Miss Piggy. Because if he does, I don't think he would do it because he's a little old. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, he doesn't. Frank Oz doesn't do Miss Piggy anymore.
But wouldn't that be funny to see Miss Piggy on there, though?
Yeah, Miss Piggy, or maybe even Elmo. Elmo would be hilarious.
Who does Who does Miss
What,
Piggy's?
what would even be more funny is have Elmo sing WAP. Is what would be.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Elmo loves wet. Never mind. I'm not gonna do it. Family show. Anyway. So yeah, that was last week. So moving into this week, we knew anything could happen. And kicking off the night was Black Swan. There was a wanted picture about the world's rarest bird. We saw a chess piece. We saw Black Swan standing over a red X, which I will get to when we start talking about who it is. Her performance of Barracuda by Heart, I absolutely loved her performance. I thought she was really good, and it's definitely somebody that has sang in the past.
Yeah, but she did say she was out of her comfort zone, so maybe she hasn't sung in a while, maybe.
Or maybe she just isn't used to being in a big swan costume.
Yeah,
maybe. Because she sounded like she was out of breath a little bit, so maybe she wasn't like, you know, it's hard to breathe in there.
And especially moving around a stage and stuff. Ken said it was the girl from Queen's Gambit because of the chess piece. I've never seen the Queen's Gambit, and I don't know
haven't
who the
either.
actress is. So
that is a good guess because they like basically the Queen's Gambit. It's about kind of like the world of chess.
That's true.
That is a good guess, actually.
Yeah. Also, Jenny guessed, there were 2 X Factor guesses because of the X. Jenny guessed Camila Cabello, who, of course, used to be with Fifth Harmony. They finished 3rd, season 2 of the X Factor over here in the USA. And then Nicole guessed Leona Lewis because of the X. Leona, of course, won season 3 of the X Factor over in the UK. So that's what those guesses meant. I thought maybe it could be Demi Lovato. She was a judge on the X Factor the last 2 seasons in the US.
Yeah, I was.
But what is making me go in a different direction is the chess piece. I think it's Julianne Hough because the X, she was a judge on America's Got Talent, and of course they have the red X's. They buzz the contestants. And also she was an extra in the first Harry Potter movie during the chess scene.
Julianne Hough?
Julianne Hough was in the first Harry Potter movie.
Wait, she was? What?
You didn't know that, Bryan? How can you not know that?
I didn't know she was in that.
Yeah, she
was. Now you know.
She was an extra in the
Sorcerer's Stone, I believe.
Yeah. And that's why I think possibly she could be Black Swan. And it really wouldn't be surprising because Julianne can sing. Maybe she was out of breath because she was moving on the stage a lot. She's a dancer, so that would be possible. Also, she's an actress, so I think that Black Swan is Julianne Hough.
Well, I went 2 different directions here. So the first person that I thought of was so obviously my first impression guess was Kesha, and I will explain why I got to this.
Sure.
Because so she said she was feeling trapped. And if you think about what Kesha went through with the whole Dr. Drew scenario.
Dr. Luke.
Or Dr.
It doesn't matter. He's not important anymore.
Yeah, it's not important. But she went through the whole the whole thing with the music industry, and she said she finally saw the light again. So she came back stronger from that. And then the other thought I had was Kristen Stewart, because the chess
you really want Kristen Stewart on The Masked Singer, don't you?
If she does it, then she does it. But no, the chess piece could very well be a reference to Twilight, and she can sing because she sang in a movie called The Runaways, so she can sing.
I do see where he's coming from that, because if you like the books, like the novels of Twilight, they actually have a chess piece on the cover. So I do see where he's coming from with that one.
So I'm
For
probably wrong
me,
anyways.
I thought it was Demi Lovato because I thought I heard her voice like
Yeah,
when
it could be
Probably
her.
throwing
It
her.
could be her.
She's probably throwing her voice if it is her.
But I just actually thought of someone else, but I don't think it I don't know. It might be I can guess,
Dior?
but what about JoJo? Like she
That's a guess I've seen online, and I thought it's a possibility, but I couldn't
but
find
the
any
X
clues.
Factor
The best I could find was Julianne Hough with what we were given.
yeah, like the X Factor, the X though, doesn't go with JoJo, but I was thinking her because she also had she was stuck in her in her musical career because
Yeah.
she put out music for years, and she's an actress too,
Mm-hmm.
but she hasn't done acting in years.
Yeah.
But like the last note that she's saying sounded like something Demi would do. So
Yeah.
that's I can see that too,
And Demi
obviously.
Lovato was a judge on X Factor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So moving on, up next, we had Grandpa Monster. There were a lot of clues about him being a troublemaker when he was younger. A teacher helped him see his smarts. There was a number 6 on the chalkboard in the classroom, and then there was a weight that had 6.2 tons on it. He did a Mambo number 5. Definitely not a professional singer, but he was okay. I actually thought he was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
The judges were going with a lot of football and athlete clues. Robin said Johnny Manziel. Jenny guessed The Miz. Ken guessed Scott Disick. I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, I have no idea who
I
it
don't
is, but
either.
I definitely
It's somebody that
Whoever
has
it is,
like
they're
a
short.
bad
So I
it's
don't
somebody
think it's
that
an
has a bad
athlete, because there aren't
reputation.
many athletes that are short.
yeah.
And it's somebody that had a bad reputation, and I guess they're trying to make a comeback.
Yeah. No, I definitely think it's an athlete. It's 100%.
I think it's an actor because he said in the clue package the characters I've played. So it's gotta be an
Yeah.
actor.
Or it could be a wrestler, but then again, I don't know of any short wrestlers. So
Yeah, I definitely think it's an actor.
I mean, it definitely could be an actor, because I was thinking that with that clue right there, that it could be an actor.
and I think the panel's lost too. Like, I think that when they do eventually unmask Grandpa Monster, that it's going to be one of those big, shocking guesses that everybody's talking about. Because
I think that,
Yeah, definitely.
And up next was one of my favorites of the night. It was Chameleon. We all thought Chameleon was going to be a girl, but it turns out it's a guy.
I feel so played. Oh,
There was a lot of camouflage in the package. He said his pops taught him to keep up with the times. When his career tanked, his tech savvy skills helped save his career. He sang Ride With Me by Nelly, and it was decent. I mean, it was entertaining. He definitely doesn't have the best voice this season at all. And a lot of the guesses from the panel were pretty decent. Ken said Dwight Howard. Robin guessed Red Foo from LMFAO, who of course had a few big hits back in the early 2010s, but then we haven't heard anything from him in the past few years. And his dad is Berry Gordy from Motown. Nicole guessed Nick Cannon, which is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
I mean, like,
why would Nick
girl,
Cannon,
really?
like, he hosted the show? Why he's not going to come? And
He's in quarantine.
Yeah,
and he was
sick. So, like, why would he even be doing the show as a contestant?
Yeah. And I a lot of names were going through my head, especially with, their dad being mentioned. I was thinking Red Foo is a really, really good guess. It does kind of sound like Calvin Harris.
Yes, that's where I was going, because he's a DJ and he released his debut album in 2007, and that's what there was a 007 in the clue package. I mean, I don't know if he can sing, but like,
well, he can. He's sang on his, and it kind of sounds like him. That's why I was thinking maybe it may be Calvin Harris. And then also I was thinking Lil Romeo, because of course his dad's Master P, and his career really hasn't been anywhere in a long time. But anyway, like I said, the clues are even harder than last season.
Yeah.
Every single season, it seems the clues get harder and harder.
I think that's a good thing, though.
That's a good guess, Taylor.
I think so. I absolutely think so. Up next, we had Phoenix. And in advance, I'd like to apologize to Jake for doubting him. We will get to that a little later.
Thank you.
Anyway, we all knew Phoenix was going to be a woman. She started the package with "Here's the Tea," talked about always being a winner, hid behind a mask for years, said that her dad was a superhero, said she graced magazine covers. I didn't know this person had a famous dad, or the way she talked, he was famous. Anyway, she did TikTok by Kesha, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It was a mess. And you could tell, I could tell as soon as she started singing, I could tell exactly who it was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like the first note, this was like
essentially, it was just like a spoken word album or something throughout the entire performance is what it was.
This is about as bad as Wendy Williams' performance. Maybe even worse. No shade, but it was bad.
She was definitely worse. She was definitely worse than a Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
But it was funny to watch. Like, I couldn't stop laughing.
But the guesses were pretty good. Nicole guessed Jonathan Van Ness. Jenny guessed Caitlyn Jenner. Ken guessed RuPaul. What is up with Ken lately in his guesses? He's actually doing really well this season so far.
Yeah, he is actually. I have to give it to him.
But we'll get back to, we'll talk about Phoenix in a minute. Of course, Phoenix was unmasked last night, so we'll come back to that. And now we're going to move to the last of the night, Piglet. Clues. The clue package was set up as a dating show. Talked about how something about love in the mud. He's lucky in love, unlucky in love. He's given away a few roses. His heart has been broken. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He sang "Speechless" by Dan and Shay, and it was easily the best of the night.
Oh, definitely.
And if it weren't for the wild cards coming up, I would say Piglet could win this season. And he still could.
The wild cards are going to stir things up, and I'm ready for it.
But we're going to have to wait for the wild cards. But I think that Piglet could indeed win the season.
It was kind of odd who. It's kind of odd.
But why they be trying? They're trying to set. They were trying to set it up and make it sound like it was like somebody from The Bachelor, because with the roses, it's like.
Well, I'll get to what the clue. Ken guessed Adam Lambert. I'm getting tired of them guessing.
Stop guessing Adam Lambert, judges. Stop.
Because
he doesn't even sound like Adam Lambert. It's kind of obvious who
you would know if it were Adam Lambert, because he cannot hide his voice. He can't hide his
Adam
personality.
Lambert's picture. Okay, they should have put Adam Lambert's picture on the jar so they could pay up for every time that they guess Adam Lambert. Like, they need to pay up for that, okay? They need to pay up.
And Nicole guessed Charlie Puth because he dated Bella Thorne, which isn't a bad guess. But being from the area that this guy is from, also being a fan of the group he's in, actually, I think that 98 Degrees is one of the most underrated boy bands of all time.
They are.
But I definitely think that this is Nick Lachey. With the dating clue package, he hosted a show on Netflix with his wife Vanessa called Love is Blind. And of course, he had that nasty breakup with Jessica Simpson.
Right.
And the voice is very recognizable.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely Nick Lachey.
It's hard, like it's hard for him. Like you can when you
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Did Bryan lose connection?
Bryan just died on us.
Did.
His phone probably died. Hopefully he'll get back here soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, one quick thing I'd like to say, I normally don't look much into costumes when it comes to guessing clues. However, with the Piglet costume, it could be a clue because Nick, of course, grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. He went to the School for Creative and Performing Arts there. Also, Cincinnati is known for a marathon called the Flying Pig Marathon. A nickname for the city is called the nickname for the city of Cincinnati is Porkopolis. And also the overalls kind of do look like lederhosen, and Cincinnati has a rich German heritage. So all these clues point to Nick Lachey, and I think one of the most guest people on The Masked Singer they finally have on the show. So
yeah, well, Jenny guessed him before, so I'm surprised that she isn't. Well, maybe she'll pick up on it eventually, but
I think she will. I think they all
guessed
will
him
pick up on
before
it eventually. Especially if they give more clues that may point to his identity. He's probably, of course, trying to keep him on the right track. I think one of the stupidest guesses I saw online last night, just because of the Bachelor clue package, was a former contestant, Casey, who was on a long time ago. I think he was on like Jillian's season, but that I don't think they'd have anybody from The Bachelor on the show, especially, I know the show's pre-taped, but back when they were taping episodes, all the controversy was going on with The Bachelor. I don't think they'd do that.
No, absolutely not.
So let's go back to the unmasking of Phoenix. Of course, the Phoenix was Caitlyn Jenner, which I think literally everybody were screaming that at their TV screen throughout the performance.
I was screaming it. I know I was.
It sounded. I really didn't get the clues. Kind of during the clue package, I was wondering if it was Whoopi Goldberg because of how the voice sounded.
Right.
But of course, when I heard the voice, I was like, yeah, that's Caitlyn. And funny thing, every single one of us, our first impression guesses that we did, every single one of us guessed Caitlyn Jenner.
We were all spot on. We all knew.
And I remember back before the season even started, you sent a picture in a chat we're in on Facebook. You sent a picture of Caitlyn wearing one of the "Don't Talk to Me" jackets, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Why would she be out in public wearing this jacket? I mean,
shout out to Joey Contino because I follow him on YouTube, and he presented this information. So, I mean, when the tea gets spilled, that's how you know.
Yeah. and you know, she's probably sitting at home, right? Well, actually, no, she's a Kardashian. She's probably not regretting it because Kardashians will do anything for publicity.
Yeah, they will.
But I will say, though, that seeing her do this, I have a newfound respect for her.
I do too.
Because the Kardashians just seem to be so full of themselves. Kind of boring, if you ask me. But ever since Caitlyn found her true identity, it seems like that she really does have a good personality. I've really enjoyed seeing her on the show.
Yeah, and I
want to see her as a guest panelist. I bet she'd be real fun.
Yes, they should get her on as a guest panelist. I agree, but I also like that she had fun with it because it's nice to see celebrities get on there and get out of their comfort zone and have fun. So I like that she had fun with it.
Oh yeah. So anyway, that is it for our show today. When it comes to the tally for first impression guesses, Bryan is currently in the lead. Based on the guesses that we have so far, I don't think he'll get many more.
Yeah.
And some of these other guesses, I can't wait to start reading the other guesses because some of these are just awful.
Yeah, and plus we still have the wild cards.
Next week, I think that Raccoon's going to end up going next week.
Yeah.
And my guess for Raccoon will probably just have you all on the floor. It's
Yeah, I know
awful.
my guess for Raccoon was bad. I'm probably wrong, but what do I know?
I think we're all wrong. Or I don't know. Anyway, that is it for the show today. Make sure you like us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you next week as we talk about the second week of Group A, as well as the first wild card contestant. Bryan, I'm sorry that your phone died. We'll see you next time. Barb, hopefully we'll see you next week. And that is it for the show. We will talk to you guys later. Okay.